Hey there, afternoon everybody. So tomorrow I'm getting on a plane in the morning off to Punta Cana. Alice and I are off to enjoy the week on the beach and teach an amazing workshops that I know a few people have signed up for, which is fantastic. It's going to be an amazing class, but definitely much needed. Here in Texas, it is freaking hot, but humid, and our weather can't make up its mind. Like right now, it's really hot and humid outside, but there's a thunderstorm blowing in. So if it starts to rain, I'm going to be moving inside. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting on a plane, heading out to the Dominican Republic, and going to just chill all week long on the beach, teach this amazing class. It's funny, our class is on passion, play, and profits. And this doesn't sound like, it's a sexy class, but it's not that sexy of a class, right? Because we're not talking about sex. But here I am, I'm on conscious coffee, conscious water, because it's the afternoon, and I'm talking about sex. But really, truly, everything that I teach is always about the same stuff. I'm pretty sure that anybody who follows me has probably caught on to the fact that I'm always going to come back to you, that you need to get into alignment to yourself. You need to be turned on. You need to ask yourself what your authentic yes is, what your authentic no is, and just be that. And stop with all the bullshit games that we tend to play with ourselves, right? So in this whole workshop that we're teaching in Punta Cana, we're talking about passion, play, and profits. And I'm going to be doing basically just like really nailing, driving it home and nailing the coffin down around what that really means. And passion, play, and profits really does come about with sex, goals, and having what you want. And, earlier today I was talking to somebody and they were telling me, well, I can't really work with you because I don't have a partner. And I was like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't work with me because you don't have a partner? And like, I can't get coaching from you because I don't have a partner. And it's like, I don't understand. I don't understand why you can't do coaching without a partner. And what they're thinking is that I'm going to give them some fantastic, stand on your head, spread your legs this way, aim at this angle, and do this for 5 minutes and that for 3 minutes, and this one so many strokes this way, and all that stuff, of which I don't do. So even in the heart of my hardcore sex and relationship coaching practice of 10 plus years, I never was hardcore on giving, do this many strokes and do this and do that, and voila, your sex life is going to be great. That's not true at all. Sex life is all about presence. Sex life is all about getting to know yourself, being comfortable in your own skin, being really good at asking for what you want and what you don't want, having healthy boundaries, understanding and being present with another person. But you can't do that unless you understand and are present with self first. And guess what? If you talk about your money, it's the exact same freaking thing. Exactly what you do in your sex is the same stuff that you need to do with your money. If you are great at accumulating money, then you can take those principles that you use in accumulating the money and you can roll it into your sex life, and you should be having a killer sex life as well. If you are great at having this dynamic, connected, like a mind-blowing sex life with a partner and with self, then guess what? You can take those exact same skills and you can move them over into your money or into your health or into anything else, because it's all about relationship. And the most important relationship that any of us can ever really work on is the relationship with self first. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself, then you're not going to be able to really have that connected intimacy that you're looking for in the sex, or the mind-blowing orgasms, or the long-lasting orgasms, or the out-of-body, or anybody who's ever come to any of my more orgasmic based workshops, they'll see me doing magic tricks and everything, where I'm really operating with a model of teaching orgasm and not even touching them, just doing this, and they've got their eyes closed and they're having this rip-roaring orgasm. Well, the reason I can connect into somebody's energy at that level and provide that experience is I can connect into self at that level. I can open up to self at that level. I can draw from orgasmic energy without ever being touched. I can sit down and breathe into an orgasm. Well, not that I'm going to do that right now. Here's the thing. The same thing applies if we want to manifest in money, if we want to manifest a house, if we want to manifest a car, if we want to manifest a lover, if we want to manifest 10 lovers. No matter what it is that we are striving for in our goals, we can have that if we get into alignment with self, just like a really mind-blowing orgasm. It all comes back to self, anything that we want. And I love teaching around the principle of sex, because sex is something that scares the shit out of us. We have a lot of shame wrapped around. We want more of. We don't quite know how to communicate what we want and what we desire around it. And we sometimes do it not very good at all by not speaking our truth around it. And sometimes we think that we're doing really great, but we're being a little bit too direct and too bold and almost aggressive in that nature, which can trigger other people, right? And cause them to go other different directions. That same stuff applies in our money or in anything that we want to create in our world. So whatever those goals are, whether it is, getting more sex, whether it is getting more money, a bigger house, a better car, more, a better lover, more lovers, a lover, developing friendships, relationships, expanding out your relationship with your children, with your family, with your friends, getting a better job, working on your health. No matter what your goals might be in your life, realize that the principles around sex is very, very simply applied to any other area. And here's the principles. Here's the principles that I'm focusing in on. You got to believe that you deserve it. Okay? You have to believe. It's all about belief. If you do not believe that you deserve any of those things, or you only believe that you deserve one of those things, then that is the thing that you're going to draw to you, and you can start pushing away anything else. You've got to have the courage to step the fuck out of your comfort zone. If you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone, you want everything to just be applied to this little box that you've been trained into, and the ideas and everything, it all needs to fit safely in here, well then you're probably never going to experience your goals that you have that are outside of the box, or that mind-blowing sex that's outside of the box, or that fantastic relationship that has, your 50 characteristics that you're looking for in that ideal partner. That's not in your box. That's outside of your box. It's going to force you to grow. Anything that you want that is not what you already have is about you growing outside of the box of comfort that you are in right now. And that is a really, really big piece of the puzzle, because what I see a lot of people doing is wanting the stuff that you want to get into your box. And you're like, well, I should just have it here in my box. Here's the reality. If you were supposed to have it in your box, then it would already be in your box. But it's not in your box. It's not showing up in your life because it's not in the box. It's stuff outside the box. So you got to look at how you can expand and grow your comfort zone out and get really used to, as I refer to it, living in that raggedy edge area of life, because right there where you're right there at that cusp and it just causes like a little bit of whoo feeling to you, that is where the magic truly happens. That's where you pick up the momentum. That's where you get the juices. That's where that turn on is. That's where that desire is, the passion. Everything that you're really wanting is right there in that energy of creation. And that energy of creation, it's a little rattling. It's a little unsettling. It's fun as fuck though. And you've got to be able to just step into that. So you got to have the belief. You got to get out of the comfort zone. You've got to do those two things. And you've got to access your turn on. And I'm talking, turn on for life. And here's the thing. Turn on comes to us in so many different ways. It's not just that you see something hot and you're like, oh, I want to sleep with that person. No, that's a turn on. Sure, you might see a sexy scene, you might see a romantic scene, you might be turned on to, something, whatever it might be. You're turned on to this, you're turned on to that. You got to recognize all the little turn-ons. You're turned on what? On a really hot day, what turns you on? A really cold something, right? You're wanting to be chilled down. You're wanting to feel that relief of the heat. Well, that's a turn on. Your body is going to ignite in different ways. Okay? You see something that you really want. Like, for me personally, like a really good piece of, oh my gosh, I was out at the Crayola experience the other day with my little ones, and we were going through everything, and then we went out for lunch, and we stopped at the Candyland store. You know, those stores where they have all the candy on the walls and everything. You can get all the old school stuff. We stopped there, and there was this. They were selling truffles in there, and I love a good chocolate truffle. So I was like, ooh, you know, like that sounds good. So I got myself a truffle. Well, there was a turn on towards that truffle. Inside of me, I was like, that sounds really good. I got a truffle, and I really enjoyed that truffle. There's the other piece, is really truly having the appreciation, the gratitude for what is coming at you. So you've got to have belief. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to find your turn on in all areas of your life. Your passion for little things, right? That's another word for turn on. Having that passion, having something there that you've got to be turned on and have that drive. And then the next piece is you've got to really tap into the appreciation of the having of what you already have right now, and the energies of what you're wanting to create by the desire of what you want. Because guess what? Those goals that you have, all the things that you want, why do you want them? Like, really, truly, why do you want what you want? That's a really great question to ask yourself. Why do I want that? Well, I want it because my life will be easier. I want it because it's pretty. I want it because I need more space. I want it because I want to feel secure. I want it because, right? So these are the words that we have. Underneath those feelings and those thoughts, what is the true meaning of why you want what you want? Tap into that. I guarantee you that you're going to come back to just a few little things. The major one is, I want to be happy. I want to be happy, and having that is going to make me happy. Being stable is going to make me happy. Having a good, awesome relationship, connection, the intimacy that I want is going to make me happy. Having the body that I want and feeling good in my body will make me happy, right? Like, these are the things that we go for, but the underlying current to all of it is happiness. So in appreciation, when we are really leaning into the appreciation world and we want to manifest, and we've got really good belief, and we're stepping out of our comfort zone, and we're following our turn on, we're following that passion, and we're really like, yes, that sounds really good, that's hot, that ignites my soul, that really turns me on, right? And then we step into the appreciation. Understand that you have to be appreciating the things that make you happy. It's not, oh, I need that to be grateful. No, you don't need anything that you don't already have to be grateful. You don't need anything that you already have to be happy. I love the Abe Lincoln quote. I actually have it hanging in my office. And the quote from Lincoln is, people will be just about as happy as they choose to be. And that is so accurate. We make a decision to be happy or not to be happy. And we can be happy with basically nothing. Okay? We don't really have to. Your happiness is a decision. It really truly is. It is a decision. So I want you to look at, like, I always try to give like little pieces of stuff, and I know that I've given you a couple things already in the belief and the getting the fuck out of your comfort zone and tapping into your, what ignites you, what turns you on, what do you find passion around, and then the appreciation. Those are 4 key elements. And here's the thing. How is that, we got sex, goals, and everything that you want, right? In the title of this Conscious Coffee. Well, let's look at it very, very clearly. Let's put sex on the table, okay? So sex on the table. Number 1, you want to have good sex, you got to believe that you can get the sex, right? If you want to have really good sex, well, you probably want to step a little bit out of your comfort zone, which also means that it's not about going and hanging from the chandeliers or going to a club or coming up with some fantasy and doing it or anything. That's not about good. That doesn't guarantee good sex. I can tell you what guarantees good sex. The comfort zone of speaking your truth guarantees good sex or not, okay? And that's the scariest thing that you can do, is to speak your truth. If you're not in alignment to it, then you should probably not be doing it. If you're not a fuck yes to it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it, especially in sex, but in any area of your life. And then what? Then we have, right? What do we have? We got belief. We've got, oh my gosh, there went my word right there. We got, stepping out of your comfort zone, and then, hold on just a second. My dog is, okay, she's fine. And then we've got turn on. You've got to be turned on to your partner. My dog is trying to dig through the fence. Okay. I might have to go over there and like save her from herself. You've got to have turn on. You've got to be ignited to the experience. You've got to really be charged up about it, right? Because if you're not turned on to the sexual encounter, then it's not going to be a great sexual encounter, right? And then at the end of it, you probably should be appreciating the fact that you're having the experience, that it feels good, that you're there with somebody that and having that connection, that you're really enjoying it, right? Well, the same applies if you were looking at your money. Now, granted, this last piece around appreciation for something, you should be appreciating that the money is there. You should be turned on to the facts that the money, that as to what the money is bringing in and what it's doing for you. You should be appreciating what the money is doing for you, right? You should, you need to get out of your comfort zone in order to really call in a different thing into your life so that you can open up those doorways. If you are doing the things that you're doing right now and you don't have the money appearing the way that you want it to be appearing, then you're probably stuck in a comfort zone. And it's time to activate yourself and expand yourself and start to look out into the world a little bit differently so that you can call it in. And going backwards here, you've got to believe that you are worthy of having that money, right? And somebody's trying to have a chat with me. My goodness, a whole bunch of people popping on. The sun was kind of in my eyes and I couldn't see you guys. Oh my God, I didn't want to end up squinting horribly. What have I got in here? Afternoon, Tom and Brad and Dawn and Paul and David and Frank, Nick and John, another John, Lisa, hey, Atlantis and Cindy, hey. So no matter what, it really is interesting because we hold all these different programs around our sex, and as a sex and relationship coach for the last 10-12 years, and then over the last 2-3 years, having developed a very healthy coaching practice and working more and more with entrepreneurs and mompreneurs and everything, and small business owners, and helping people level up their businesses and their life, watching them blossom and grow, triple, quadruple their income from the point that we started to the ending cycle of our one-on-one coaching. It's been very interesting to also see how our relationship with sex is also a relationship to our life, in our goals, in our finances, in our abundance, in all areas. And I've also found that it relates to all areas of life in general. But those are the two key components, is sex and money, and how much they mimic each other and the programs that we have around them. So if you really start to look at some of the shame and the guilt, the lack of worth that you might have in one department, you'll probably find something similar mirroring over here in the other department. And the big key elements is what I've already discussed here, is that you've got to have the belief, you've got to have the turn on to it. You've got to get out of your comfort zone, and you've got to appreciate what is coming to you, and you don't need anything more than what you already have to get that happiness. So it's really about really tapping into that joy, that happiness right now, so that you draw more things into your life that has that. And the people who can understand that and can really access that joy and that happiness, that's where that abundance just kind of flows in magically, right? And it really just gets you in that boat of just abundance and yumminess and juiciness, where everything is rocking really great. from sex to abundance to health to family, to and you name it, it's all coming in at that beautiful, beautiful level. But it's because you found that little loophole called happiness and being happy without all this other stuff. And realizing, though, that if you really want to create that opportunity to draw in whatever you're looking for, that you do it through the expansion of self, that you don't need anybody else. It is about expansion of self. It is about alignment to self. It is about knowing your yes and your no, your boundaries, your non-negotiables, and really, really tapping into that in any subject of your life, so that you can call it in and have it exactly the way you want it, but not to smother it, not to kill it, squish it. And we tend to do that when we are really desiring something. We get into desperation mode, and when we're in that desperation mode, it really is kind of like we're killing it. So you've got to be cautious about that. You've got to really open up your hands, you could say, open up your heart, open up your energy, and allow yourself to draw in through your openness and your belief, because belief is not a constriction. Belief is an opening. So you want to really look at, am I constricting or am I opening? Well, if you're constricting, then you're not believing. If you are opening, then you have belief. You have faith would be another word for that, or certainty, as I like to call it. So yeah, so there you go. There are the things. If anybody is interested, Addison Bell and I are teaching a workshop Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It'll be a live training here on Facebook called Monetizing Badass Bosses. And we're going to be teaching about passion, play, and profits. So day 1, we're going to be teaching about passion. Day 2, we're going to be teaching about play. Day 3, we're going to be teaching about profits. We're teaching anybody who is interested in how you can really take the life that you are living right now and monetize it into something full of abundance, full of creative energy, doing what you love, really expanding out in so many different ways. So we've got a killer workshop. We're doing about 9 different live trainings over the course of 3 days, live workshops coming to you from Punta Cana, from the beach, live here on Facebook. Of course, it will be fully recorded. We've got meditations in there, journaling in there. We've got some just amazing, amazing stuff going on that you can tap into. The course is available right now. I will make sure that a link is in the comment section for you, for you to go and explore and look at. And if anybody's interested, the live, of course, is better than the recorded, but you know what? It will be available recorded on both of our websites after the week is over. And we're just going to go have a killer time in Punta Cana, just enjoying ourselves. It'll be our second trip there, our annual girls trip, and we're going back to Punta Cana this year. Last year we went to Mexico. Next year I think we're going to do Europe. But yeah, so it should be awesome. It should be awesome. Let's see, any other announcements? I think that's really it. I had a fantastic workshop yesterday, so I don't have anything to announce. The workshop's over, off to the beach I go, and yeah. Hope everybody has an amazing weekend, an amazing week coming, and you can catch me tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. I don't know where I'm going to be at. I might still be here in Dallas. I might be at an airport. I might be in the Dominican Republic. As soon as I get to it, I will be on live streaming to you. As always, stop existing, start living. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.